let's talk about why trigger points even happen and how to release them. So when we're looking at the shoulders, most of us, we spend a lot of time in forward extension, bending. These muscles are constantly getting pulled forward, so they're getting lengthened all day. Basically, they're getting stretched. What needs to exist for posture to come back to where it's meant to be is these need to get into flexion or contraction, so they need to be strengthened because they're just being pulled on all day. And what happens when these muscles are getting pulled on is these muscles in the front actually get tight. And that's when you see people rounded shoulders in like that. Most people have upper cross syndrome. And so this is going to be very tight and have a lot of trigger points. And this is going to be very essentially underutilized or defacilitated. And it's also going to have a lot of trigger points because the body's shortcut to stabilizing a major moving joint is to create trigger point fibers to create a kind of a false sense of strength or stability in that muscle. So that's why there's a lot of trigger points in here. It's not because the muscle is tight, but it's actually getting pulled on, and the trigger points are trying to rebalance to keep the body relatively upright and straight. So essentially the way you can think of it is these two muscles are playing tug of war, the pec minor and the rhomboids and serratus. And what happens is a lot of times this tiny little pec muscle wins and he gets a lot tighter. So what needs to exist for posture to improve is basically the rhomboids and the upper back just needs to be strengthened, and then these need to be released.